Hey guys, welcome back to Vince Bell Custom. So today I'm sharing with you a finished Jay Garrick garage kit that I just finished painting up. This was produced by Maryiad Studios. Hopefully I said that right. I don't know who sculpted it. Whoever did sculpt it, I think somebody did mention their names in one of my live streams. Completely forgot who it was, but if anyone in the comments knows, go ahead and post it. I did do a garage kit review on this. I absolutely love this statue. I wish I could keep it myself, but sadly I can't. It was actually a friend of mine's, and sadly with the whole lockdown, he just wanted me to finish painting it up, and it'll be up for grabs either on my site or on Facebook on his page somewhere, but it's definitely something that I would love to have, because Jay Garrick is probably one of my favorite, or at least the top 3 favorite speedsters. It goes Bart Allen Impulse, he's my favorite. Then there's Iris West Kid Flash from Kingdom Come storyline, and then Jay Garrick, and this is just like the perfect Alex Ross Jay Garrick like statue. I absolutely love it, and I've seen a lot of the other sculpts that Maryiad Studios is doing, and they're absolutely nailing them. I mean, it's just, they're perfect. But like I said, you can't always have everything, but this is absolutely awesome. So if you watch my garage kit review, there's the only downside of this item is sadly he won't go back into the box that he was shipped in. Some pieces will, but what it is the foam on the box is a good foam, but it's sliced in all these pieces long way. So if you pull it out the wrong way, you could snap or break something. So that's the only downside with this thing. So like if I was to ship this out to someone, I would probably have to ship 2 boxes, because I would be very, very scary of putting him back into that box and then somebody pulling it out and they snap the fins or something. It's just really something that I would be really worried about. But other than that, it was pretty straightforward. It's just a matter of prepping it up, getting it in there. The magnets work fine. Everything's pretty decent on it. This is my favorite pose. This is kind of like the pose I would love. Even though he has the one where the hat is in his arm, he has the other hand with holding the bullets. It's, you know, it's not bad. I think there would be some things I would have changed though, and we'll kind of go over that in a second. But we'll get a little bit closer now, and then we can swap out the parts. So what we'll do is I'll swap out the other parts, we'll get in a little bit closer, and then we'll go back to these parts. Okay, so here we are with the one with the helmet is in his hand, and he doesn't have that on his head, and the left hand has the bullets in his hand. Now, the bullets in his hand were a little bit tricky. I had to actually sculpt a little extra bullets because the piece was kind of broken, and when I put it in there it didn't work out too well. So I put a bunch of A's in there, sculpted a bunch of extra bullets, and made it a little bit more sturdy, except I'm still a little worried about this piece here. It could break off, but there's nothing really I can do about that. So that's something that I would be really worried about putting back in the box. You can see his helmet in his hand over here. Now, the one thing I would have changed on this sculpt after I finished painting it is I would have actually had it so his hand was actually holding the helmet and the bullets were inside the helmet, because in a lot of the comics he always uses his helmet, at least Jay Garrick does, to like stop bullets, rays, cold rays, anything. Like whenever he fights the villains, he kind of always usually takes off the helmet and uses it sort of like a shield or to stop stuff. So I kind of would have liked the idea of the bullets were in the helmet, but that's just a personal preference. But other than that, I think it looks fine. I think it works good with the helmet off, basically with the hand with the bullets. I don't think it really works too well like this with this hand. I think with the helmet on and the fist are my favorite pose, but you know, it works either way. That's a kind of cool thing, is you can kind of swap them out and it works. Helmet was a little bit difficult. I think they actually did put a metal rod in here, so I think these are a little bit sturdy, because when I put these pieces into the helmet, there was like these little rods sticking out. So I think that is something at least decent. So I'm hoping there's a metal rod in there, but something like that's really would worry about me putting into the, you know, back into the box. Face sculpt, garage kit, you know, flesh tones mixed in with, oh actually, no, I actually used P3 formula on these heads. This was something a little bit different. So I didn't use garage kits because I just want to experiment with some other colors. I think it came out pretty good. It's something that, you know, is just kind of trying to test stuff. Now they did come with eye decals, and I did put those in, so those worked out pretty well. His outfits were basically just you know, flat colors, red with a little bit of hint, tiny hint of pearlized yellow into the yellow symbol bolt, but not much. For his belt, Jay Garrick's old school. So basically I just gave this a nice shiny you know, black, and then this buckle I kind of weathered out. because he's not really super shiny and everything's new. It's old school, so I figured the belt buckle would be kind of worn out and nothing too crazy. These are not blue jeans, even though they did add a texture to it, and I kind of wish they didn't. He doesn't really wear blue jeans. They're kind of like running pants, I guess you can say. They're not really sweatpants, but it's kind of like an old school running pants type thing. And I think these little marks over here and these stretchy things are pretty cool, but I try not to go too crazy with like a crazy highlights because I didn't want it to look like weathered blue jeans because of the texture. That texture on there sorta might give you that blue jeans look if you go a little too crazy. As far as the base and his boots, so the boots I wanted to go more with leathery mahogany colors, make them look a little bit old and worn, nothing too crazy. Put on the what is it? I guess these are the ear fins or whatever you want to call them, and put those on. Like I said, I think they did a good job. I think those got metal rods in them. At least I'm pretty sure, but I could be wrong. Now, as far as the base goes, as I said in my garage kit review, I don't understand this part of the base. All this. Like, I understand the street, it's broken, you have a manhole cover, but I don't understand this. This sort of doesn't really fit Flash for me. I know they wanted to like force a symbol onto the base, but I don't think it really needs it here. And this is too like I don't know, like sewers or like some kind of, it doesn't really fit too much. I would have rather seen him just on a circle base with the street and maybe I don't know, more male or something else. But this right here just kind of, I think, even though you're not really focused on it, the base sort of kind of really doesn't scream Flash base to me. I'd rather just seen a black base with a symbol and then really focus more on the street. Just my personal preference. Now, on these pieces here now, these were a nightmare. So this piece right here is supposed to be magnetized, and sadly the magnet that came in here was not strong enough. So I actually redid this magnet in here, and they gave a decal for this, and this decal was absolutely a nightmare to like get on there. It took a lot of like patience and really fiddling with it, and had to really make it look worn. So I had to paint this paper in like kind of like a grayish yellow look, and then I put these decals on it. Now the decals are amazing, don't get me wrong, they did a really great job with the decals, but very, very tricky to get them on. Now on this one here was the main issue. This one was really, really tricky, and I just got to kind of line it up correctly. This one right here, what happens is the decal, I couldn't get it underneath in here. I just could not get it over in here. It was just a little bit too tricky. So I decided I'm going to fudge it and make it look like it's dirtied and worn up and you can't really see it. So it actually helped me get the decal here, but I couldn't get the decal underneath in here. So that's the cool thing about kits, is like sometimes mistakes can actually benefit you. So basically it looks like this is all kind of muddy now, and it kind of fits with this stuff. So this is a different type of paper where it's kind of new and fresher, and this one's kind of dirty, kind of been like, hit in the mud and stuff. So that's kind of what I came up with that. So let's kind of pop on the other parts and then we'll close out the video. Okay, so here we go. Now this, like I said, this is my favorite pose. Just him having the helmet on, standing there, going with it, works out pretty well. Now Jay Garrick, he does have kind of like he's just turning gray. Depending on like the age of Garrick you want to go with. If you feel that Garrick is pretty much like a really old guy, you can go with fully gray hair. But I went with the sides, kind of like the brown hair, with him just going like salt and pepper on the sides. But other than that, just a really great statue, great sculpt. They just absolutely nailed it, and it's just a really great character. I wish more companies would do more stuff of these types of characters, but sadly, they always got to go with what sells, so you always see the big three. But I'm glad to see like Facebook people making fan art statues of these types of characters. It's just sadly I can't get my hands on them all the time. But with that being said, let me know what you guys think. Do you like the way he came out? Are you a fan of the sculpt? Do you like the character? If not, get out there and read up on him. He's a really cool character. And with that being said, thanks for watching. He'll probably be up for grabs either on my site or somewhere else if anyone's interested, because I know people are really looking for this one. And with that being said, thanks for watching, and we'll be back with some more videos.